Hi, everybody. This is part 3 of the Digital Marketing League. My name is Jochen. I'm CRO for Textbroker. And actually, we have a few technical issues right now, so please bear with us a few more minutes, and we will get started soon. Hey, Alex.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So we're ready to go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the third session of this year's Digital Marketing League. So after the first two, I hope you all enjoyed them. For those of you coming new, welcome to the Digital Marketing League. And the next presentation we'll have is from Alex Navarro about link building. After that, we have a short lunch break, and then we'll talk with iProspect and eHorses at 1 and 2 p.m. Respectively. Please feel free, and I actually ask you to put as many questions as you have into the chat that you can see on the right-hand side of the screen. And then we'll answer all these questions after the session. And also at the end of the session, you will receive the chance to win a few prizes and a little vote, which I will announce to you once Alex is done. With that said, our next speaker, Alex Navarro, he's a long-term friend of Textbroker, a long-term friend of mine. Actually, a German national, I don't know how many know that, but lives in sunny Alicante in Spain, where it never rains, and speaks 5 languages. Alex, I think I can't say more about you. Over to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. Jochen, let me see if I can share my screen. Enable. Okay. Okay, I think it's already there. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, first of all, Jochen, thank you, for the introduction, and thank you, obviously, for having me here. It's a big pleasure being here today with you guys. As you know, you told me that I have to be quick. I have a 30-minute mark, and I don't want to go over this. I don't want to live dangerously on the edge, so I better jump right into it, okay? Now, first of all, today we're going to talk about link building, okay? It's going to be about 7 creative ways of doing international link building in 2020. Just quickly introduce myself. So before we start, this is me, okay? And this is a beautifully photoshopped picture of myself that makes me look younger and more interesting, I guess. I'm the CMO of Interamplify. Also, I'm the co-founder of Dropalia. Interamplify is a company which is specialized in outreach. We do link building strategies in basically any country of the world. We work ranging from extremely white hat campaigns to more creative stuff, for example, campaigns that we call impossible links. Also, Dropalia, in this case, is an SEO agency specialized in technical SEO and on-page SEO. Okay, and this here is my Twitter account, just in case anybody wants to send me a message or follow me. I have my direct messages are open, so anybody can send me a message, okay? So let's start with basically the official definition of link building that I found on the internet. Okay, what is link building? Link building is the process of securing a link on another website back to your own site. Okay, the more links you have from relevant and authoritative websites, the better your own website will perform in search results for relevant queries. Okay, there are some parts in these descriptions which are maybe not so valid anymore in 2020, and we will talk about them later, but this is basically the main idea of what link building is. Okay, but what does Google say? Okay, there's also a Google point of view. Google says any link intended to manipulate a site's ranking in Google search result may be considered part of a link scheme and a violation of Google's webmaster's guidelines. This is basically the message that all the newcomers get, and this is the scare tactic that works, against many people from actually going into link building or seeing link building as something, which is on the edge or scary or whatever, But the truth is, you need links to rank nowadays. Okay, links are the gasoline of SEO, and the mantra of build good content and the links will come automatically. It's basically bullshit. Okay, I mean, I just to give you an idea, I have a sex shop amongst other web pages, and nobody's gonna link to a sex shop, or nobody's gonna share your link on social media saying, hey, I just bought this nice dildo or whatever. So you have to do link building, and it's an important part of SEO nowadays. And yeah, no worries. Google isn't as smart as you might think they are. Okay, we'll get into this also. So what can I do in this case? Well, there's two options. Obviously, there's buying links, or you're trying to get links, through services. And here, obviously, we would love to help you out with this. And also, you can be creative. In creative, there are creative ways of getting links with a minimum investment. Okay, and basically, this second part is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, I want to show you some creative ways of doing link building, of actually getting some really, really good high authority links with a minimum investment and with some nice strategies. So let's start with the first one, which is called follow the affiliate. I have to apologize for the names. Okay, I'm not very creative with names, so I just call them the first thing that comes to my mind, and sometimes it's really weird. This one is called follow the affiliate. Affiliates are basically very good SEOs with a low budget in many cases. Okay, and they have no other choice than being creative to find their own links. So normally they're armed with tools like Ahrefs or like SEMrush, and they search for hours and hours until they find a perfect, let's say, group of links that they can then use on many of their different projects. They usually know which links work, which ones don't, and this technique allows you to find links in basically all countries of the world. Here we have some examples of how you can find some queries where normally affiliate web pages rank in. Okay, for example, here, if you look in English, you would search for best plus, let's say, I don't know, lawnmower plus the year 220, okay, or lawnmower review 220. Those are the typical, let's say, queries where affiliate web pages, affiliate blogs are ranking for. And those that rank really high are the ones that you should be analyzing, okay? This works for any country, as I said. In Italy, you could write like Guida d'acquisto and the year, miglior, migliori, the keyword. Always put the keyword of your niche in, or a similar keyword, okay? So you find links which are relevant. In Germany, you could put, the keyword plus Vergleich or beste or whatever. And in France, you could put meilleur, meilleurs, and comparatif, excuse my French, plus, the year and the keyword. So these are fast ways of finding web pages that could be analyzed. If we do this, I usually use an add-on for Chrome, which is called Nightwatch Search Simulator. It's pretty good because you don't need any proxies or don't need any VPN or anything. Just simply install this and then search in any country, and it gives you the live results of any country really fast. Okay, so if in Spain, for example, if we look for the mejor robot aspirador, which is the best vacuum robot, or whatever it's called in English, 2020. Okay, we have some good ranking blogs here. One is called comprarmejor.es, and one is called 10mejores.top. By the way, the .top domains are really good for ranking affiliate things. Yeah, try them. I'm not going to go into this now because time is short. So we search for these two, and here I have to say, I'm sorry if the owners are watching me right now. I have no intention in revealing anything important about these sites. No worries. I'm not going to analyze in depth their link tactics or anything. I will just use them as a simple example. Okay, there's like this written code amongst SEOs, amongst affiliate SEOs, not to reveal the sites of others publicly. So I'm not going to go into this either. Don't worry. Yeah, but here, if we check these two sites, we will see that in Ahrefs, for example, they have a pretty nice growth, both of them. They survived pretty well Google's last updates. There was a little drop in them, but it's okay. Besides, it could also be that the Ahrefs just came out a week ago saying that their results are not really accurate right now. They're working on that, so maybe that's also an issue. But anyway, they're doing really good. They have 122,000 organic traffic in Ahrefs and 104,000. So yeah, interesting to analyze. And if we go into them and we list the domains by DR, by domain rating, we see which ones are the domains with the highest domain rating, the most, authority, let's say. And here we can go through some links and find some really interesting stuff. For example, this year is RTVE, which is the Spanish radio television webpage, and they have a DR88. Okay, and and if we look at the page, you can see that we see a list of videos here. For example, okay, this is a list of videos that we see. The way the site is coded, which is actually, I have to say, it's a weird way they coded this. The comments, which are in the tab down here, are part of the main content. So you can basically search for a video that has your keyword in this site. Open the comments and just add some paragraph there with a link, follow link going out, and it's actually seen as a content link, not as a comments link. And yeah, it's a fabulous link, works extremely well, sneaky, but it works extremely well. And you get a link from a DR88 site towards yours, which is really good for authority injections. The next one, and this is something I could spend hours with. Okay, I could go hours analyzing Hrefs. Some people like watching movies, or they like Netflix. I like Hrefs. Here, for example, this is the other one. We see also some interesting links from DMCA, very good link. Okay, this is one of the classics. Here we can see search.bt.com, which is the British Telecom. It's a DR90 link with tons of problems when it comes to leaving the doors open for anyone to get links out of them. Okay, in this case, the link comes from a search results page. Let's look in detail. If you see here, this is search.bt.com. If you do a site command, and then our blog in here, what it will happen is it will list all the, or in this case, the 10 first indexed results of our site. And this is basically, it's open to get indexed. It's open to get a follow link out. As a matter of fact, if we go into Google and do a site search for search.bt.com and in URL results to see all the result pages that are indexed, we see that there are about 3,450 results indexed in Google from this page. Okay, so basically here what you can do is you can just generate your own links, take this URL and make it go through some of the good indexers that still exist, or that some of the better ones that still exist. One is Omega Indexer, which is pretty good, and this is it's actually a new one. It's a Spanish one called Fastlink Indexer. Very good, very smart guys who built this, and it's also working really well. So yeah, so you just take this URL and just index it basically, and you get authority injection over to your site from British Telecom webpage in England. Okay. Next one I call Let the Spammers Do the Work. Spammers are probably the most hated people in SEO, but they're probably also the most creative ones out there. When you analyze spam projects that actually rank for longer than 2-3 months, you're normally able to find some real gems in form of links from high quality domains. Okay. The techniques of spammers should normally not be imitated, but they do work extremely good for a certain strategy that I will explain at the end of this presentation. Okay, so stay with me. Let's go see some. For example, this year, this is a typical page that all of you might have seen before. It's like a comment section of any blog that's open, and they have, by any chance, have follow links. They forgot to put no follow, whatever. And when you go in there, you see like hundreds and hundreds of spam links going out. So this is actually pretty interesting, because on the first side you're like, oh shit, this is spam. You close the site. But if you just take the URL and analyze it in detail, you can get some really good interesting data out of this. For example, here we're taking the page with all the outcoming comments that I just showed you. We place it into Hrefs, and now we're filtering with 3 parameters. Okay, here first of all we select the prefix. We select the outgoing links. Okay, we want to see all the links that go out from this spam page, and we list them through organic traffic. We want to see which ones of these outgoing links actually have a lot of traffic. The first ones are the obvious ones, like Wikipedia, Twitter, Microsoft, whatever, So all of these are the obvious ones that you will always see. In this case, forget about these. But if we scroll down a little more, this is where it gets interesting. For example, now we see PS3themes.com, which has 23,000 ranking in Ahrefs. We have Mandat Net Dong Nai Dat Vietnam. Probably didn't say this right, but this is interesting. Okay, so these are interesting sites. Here we can start seeing some spammer sites, and some of the best spammers are Vietnamese. I have to say, I've seen some really interesting Vietnamese spam techniques, which actually work really well. So if we take this one and look a little bit more in detail, we see that it has a nice growth. Okay, it went almost to 40,000, let's say 30-something thousand. It actually dropped a little bit after the updates, and now it's recovering again. It has 23,000 traffic, mainly ranking in Vietnam. Okay, and if we take a look at this more in depth, we can see that they have links, for example, follow links from YouTube. Okay, and they got this through what we call URL manipulation. Okay, you can manipulate URLs of many large websites in order for them to actually create you a page that has a link out from them towards your site. Okay. They also did the same from maps.google.com. They got a follow link from Google Maps. They got a follow link from Mozilla. Here they created an add-on which they got, I would say, from Fiverr or from Code Canyon or some place like that. And they uploaded that and just filled out the form and got a link back to the homepage from a 95 DR95. Google Drive, JavaScript link from Google Drive, also very effective, and so on. Okay. If we scroll down a little more, we can see, for example, a link from one of the largest Australian newspapers, abc.net.au. I think it's a newspaper, by the way. I didn't really check. I think it is. Also, URL manipulation. They got a link from there. They got one from the government of New York, also through link manipulation. They got one from here, search.pt.com. Sound familiar? Okay, so there's many links that they got that are interesting and that have really high authority, and they do work. Now, this doesn't work for all countries the same. Okay, I mean we've ranked. I've been in this for 18 years now. We've been doing, we've been trying to get traffic for sites for the past 18 years, and I've ranked lots of sites in lots of different countries. And I have to tell you that Google does not react the same in some countries as in others. For example, it's much easier to rank something in Peru or in Colombia, for example, than to rank in Germany or to rank in Spain or to rank in England. Okay, Google reacts differently to different types of techniques in these countries, but all of them, can be done. So third one, I call this one karma links. This is a special kind of link. Okay, I like to get these because they actually help you help others by getting these links. They're easy to get. They're available in all countries, and they are low budget. The idea behind this is we're talking about some donations in non-profit organization pages. Depending on the niche you're in, there's a high possibility that there's a special non-profit organization where you can donate some money to, and in return, many times you get a link back to your site for being a donor. Okay, so the interesting thing about these pages is that usually they belong to some certain associations, like for example, we can see down here, this one belongs to GuideStar. They usually have these associations linked from their footer or sidebar or whatever. So yeah, they just follow the badge basically. What you can do there is you can click on the badge and you see that the GuideStar, for example, looks like a search engine for non-profit organizations. You just have to find it here, and you've got a big list of potential prospects that you can then maybe donate to. You can also take the URL, plug it into Ahrefs, and look who's actually linking to them, and there you can also get all these different options out, and have them into your list to prospect them. And also, last thing, you can go to Google and you can just simply write donate plus, and if you're in the animal niche, you can maybe put dog shelter, donate to dog shelter, donation dog shelter, or make a donation to whatever animal association, whatever. Okay, and find them there directly in Google. It will also give you a lot of them. This will be the desired end result. It's a do follow contextual link from inside of some quality page, from within the text, natural link, linking out to you, thanking you for being, part of this group or this association helping save animals. So yeah, karma links, you do good for them, they do good for you. Next one is called the calculator technique. This technique is also one of those links that are actually pretty easy to get. It requires very low investment, and it works for all countries. The idea is that you scan through the first top 50 results for related keywords to yours, and you look for blogs that might be interested in embedding a weight loss calculator. Okay, this calculator would then be on your site, and with the option to give out an embed code, something like this. Okay, this would be on your site, and here you have an embed code that people can come, they can take it, they can place it in their site, and then magically this calculator would pop up in their site. And it's a win-win situation basically, because they get a free calculator, which they will be able to, which will make them retain people longer on their site, which is actually good for SEO. It also might help them to get links. You know, if they have a calculator, you know, there's a possibility of them getting links from other sites. And on the other hand, we get a part of their authority channeled over to us through the link that's inside of this embed code. Okay. So yeah, and once you get a few of these pointing or linking back to one of your sites where this calculator is on, basically all you have to do is use internal links from this site, you know, to then spread the link juice that you received, spread it over to different pages on your site, okay, on your website. So, but I have no idea how to code, you might say, or how can I create one of these calculators? No worries, I have no idea how to code either. And I've done this many times. It's very simple. All you need to do is get them on different places, like for example, Code Canyon. You can just buy finished calculators there. You know, they have like 600 different types of calculators, all just waiting there for you to grab them and use them. The prices, they're pretty accessible too. A calculator costs anything between $4, to let's say $50 approximately. You can then personalize them in any manner that you need, and so on. So it's pretty fast to get. No need to spend a lot of money. 5, be the source. Okay, this is a good way of getting free links, extremely high quality links, contextual links, and really easy to get. The idea behind this, and you might know this, you might know a project called Navarro, Help Out a Reporter. It's a site where you can basically sign up as an expert on your niche. And whenever a news source needs somebody to give a statement about any topic within your niche, one of the first places they go is this. And they will look here for this. And if you're lucky, you can get some good links from extremely high quality newspapers. But make sure to always ask the reporter for that link, because many times they will place you without a problem, but sometimes you just need this quick reminder, that you would like to have a link, please. This exists in many countries. In Spain, for example, it's called Reportaro. The idea is exactly the same. There's other options also. For example, this is the third one, which reporters actually use, and it's a hashtag in Twitter called Journal Requests, where they ask for people that can help them out in certain topics. Here you can see, for example, this is just a general request that they have. And if you add a keyword like weight loss to this, you will just get all the journal requests about weight loss, for example. And you can just create an alert, and anytime somebody asks something, you can be the first one to answer, and be there to give your statement and get your link. This is not my trick. This one here, this is a trick from Glenn Alsop from detail.com. So I have to give credit where credit's due. And he's a great SEO, by the way. You should check him out if you can. Next one is footprints. Remember the search.bt.com that I showed you at the very beginning? The search.bt.com has a footprint in it, and if you take that URL and put it into places like buildwith.com or places like public 3Ws, these are like code search engines. You can find a lot of different websites in different countries, maybe in different niches, that have the same open doors as search.bt.com, and will give you the same type of link. So basically, if you find one, you can multiply this by finding more with footprints. Footprints, normally you will find, or not normally, but in many cases you will find them in the least expected places, like Le Monde, for example, which is one of the biggest newspapers in France. Not too long ago, they had some software installed on their subdomains. Okay, like here you can see they have like tons of subdomains. For example, they have Parole de chansons.lemonde.fr. Mon compte, all these things. Sorry, I try to pronounce it good, but it probably sounds like shit. Yeah, so they have lots and lots and lots of subdomains. Many of these subdomains are just, forgotten. This is actually something that happens a lot in government sites. Governments like this one political party wins. The new webmasters take over the government sites. They create some subdomains, install some fancy CMS on them, some options to create blogs for the populace. And then they just forget about it. The new president comes in 4 years later, and they didn't even know this exists. So it's just open there. And yeah, it's not the same link as a homepage, but you have the same domain authority, as Le Monde, for example, if you get a link from these subdomains. So this is very interesting. You find lots of open doors here. This is the technique that I told you at the beginning that I'm going to explain in the end, because for many of you guys, probably these techniques might sound, oh, this is black hat or this is gray hat. I mean, the truth is, as soon as you buy a link, you're already on the black hat side of Google. This is just creative ways of getting links. They work just as well. Google is not as smart as you think. They don't detect 99% of the things. They don't detect them. Okay, they detect the obvious things. Yes, they do, and they're very good at that. But they don't detect most of the things. And believe me, I've been in this for a long time. Okay, so back to this. This technique basically is about ranking newspaper articles. Okay, the problem is that we are normally obsessed in ranking our own site for our most important keywords, which is good. I mean, don't get me wrong; it's a good thing to do, and you should do that. But there's a faster and cheaper way of obtaining results, which consists of buying high-quality newspaper articles optimized for your keywords and with a clear, let's say, call to action at the end. And then you rank these newspapers instead of your sites. Okay, and the advantage of doing this is that newspapers, they usually have a very high authority, which allows them to rank much faster than for any keyword, much faster than any normal web page. But make sure that you get articles or newspapers that more speak about your niche or your theme. Okay, then try to rank like a kitchen keyword with a sports newspaper. Okay, that's you get what I mean. The second thing is that you can actually apply many of the explained link building techniques that I just did, to these domains, because they can absorb link building much better than any average Joe site. You can be more aggressive. You can be faster. You can do more links to it. Newspapers, they absorb these things really, really good, and they tend to rank really, really good when you do these things. And the end goal is to do this with 5-6 different articles from 5-6 different newspapers. And then just take over the first page of Google, and then Inter Amplify, for example, which is our company, we can obviously help you out. We can do these things for you for basically any country. We have all the contacts from all the newspapers already. This is my shameful little plug in here. Okay. So this is a technique that works really, really well. And you basically you just take over the Google first pages and don't give your competitors a chance to be there. Okay, and just to finish off, some random tips. I don't know how my time is. I think I'm on the edge. First of all, you can use international links to rank in your country. Okay, there's a belief that you can only use links from Spain if you want to rank in Spain. It's not true. Okay, you should have the basis of your link building should be Spanish links in this case, or Spanish IPs, but you can use many of the international links also. Sites like Microsoft, Medium, or newspapers in any other country. They will help you actually to rank you in your own page, in your own country, as long as your site has, as I said, a base of links from your country, and as long as it's geo-targeted to your country. One of the best links that you can get are links from sites that are already ranking for your keywords in Google. Okay, so when you go to the first 2 pages of Google, most of these sites are probably competitors, which are not going to allow you to get links, but some might be blogs from affiliates. Affiliates are people that they're in there for the money. They just want to make money, and if you talk to them and say, hey, I'll give you something, some either money or some product or some whatever, if you link to me, there's a good chance that you might get that link. And again, we did many tests in link building, and some of the links that we saw work the best are the ones that are already ranking for your keyword. Another thing is this was about the definition at the beginning. They said that the more links you get, the higher you will rank in Google, and the definition of a link building I read at the very beginning. In 2020, it's basically not true. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. I can probably outrank you any site that has 700 links with a small site, good optimized with just 14 links. Okay, so it's about the quality, not about the quantity of links anymore. Another thing is the Google algorithm is different depending on the countries you try to rank in. Like I explained earlier, ranking in Peru is much easier than ranking in Germany, for example. Okay, Google treats things different there. It might also be the competition, the competitors there. I don't know, but it accepts some things in some countries that it doesn't accept in other countries. Always have in mind the link velocity. Many people, they start really fast. They put a lot of links at the beginning, and then there's like this valley, where no links are coming for a long time. This will kill your project. This is basically what spammers do. They want to rank really fast for a certain time. They just push thousands of links at the same time and then just forget about the project. It ranks really fast and then it goes down really fast. If you do that with a certain link velocity, adequate link velocity, and take care of that, it's much easier. And again, don't forget, Google is not as smart as you think. Okay, they always, obviously they hate people that do link building. They hate everything with that is about link building because it alters the natural way of ranking, and they will do some scary things, scare tactics, so that you don't do it. But it works. It works really well. It's actually working better now than a couple of years ago. And I think that it's going to keep working well for the next years, and it's the gasoline of SEO. So it is important. And I think I'm right on the mark, if I'm not mistaken. This is my Twitter again. This is Vivir de la Red. Website is interamplify.com and dropalia.com. And thank you very much for your time, for actually sitting here for half an hour listening to me. And and over to you.
Thank you, Alex. Actually, I could have listened longer. This is really good, and I can testify. Textbroker works very closely with InterAmplify on various projects, and they have great things that they do. And most importantly, such as Textbroker, they are internationally oriented, and that's why they're a good partner for us. Right. Alex, we had questions flying in here, I must say. And first of all, a great compliment to the people on here, because they helped each other. They were asking for your Chrome plugin and the add-on you have, but that question got answered by the community, which is great.
Perfect.
First question I have for you: isn't it dangerous to use spam links, and could Google penalize you for using your technique number 2?
Okay, very good question. Dangerous. There's many ways of defining dangerous. Obviously, if you go straight into spam linking, and do like a spam technique, like the one I showed you, for example, and do it on your money site, it's probably not the best way of doing it. Okay, there is obviously a possibility that you get penalized. But what does work is taking some of the gems out of these spam techniques. Okay, there's some web pages in there which are high authority links, really high authority links. They're actually links from within content, and these links can absolutely be used for your techniques. They work really, really well. But again, some of these things you shouldn't do it to your money page. But again, also some of the things you can do to newspaper articles, because they absorb these things really, really good. So dangerous, yes. Sometimes. Is it working? Yes, also.
I guess it should be done by somebody who knows what he's doing.
Exactly. Thank you.
Next question I have here: how about the pertinency of donation links? So how applicable are they?
I didn't understand the question well. What do you mean exactly? How well do they work?
Natalia, I hope I get this right here. How applicable are they for linking those donation links? And
okay.
Natalia, if I get this wrong, please text it again.
Okay. Donation links is something that we've based. There's one thing you have to know. We have a laboratory here in Spain that is basically dedicated exclusively on just testing things out. Okay. We do tons of tests. We do lots of tests that even go beyond link building right now. Okay, some of them, Jochen, some I can't really say right now. But one of the things is we tested doing or ranking a project exclusively built on donation links. There were 2 or 3 other links in it, I have to say, but the rest were all donation links. There were like 7, I forgot the number, between 7 and 10, I'm not sure anymore. And it worked perfectly fine, it worked like a charm. So if the question goes into, does this work? Yes, it does work. In case
I got
it
a
was
precision. Sorry, Alex. I got a precision of the question here. Thank you, Natalia, for that. So she writes, donation links come from different industries or themes or topics. Is it recommended to get links from your industry normally only?
Okay,
so
understood.
It's probably more the content relevance side of things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here what you get, these are not authority links. These are content relevant links, okay? I mean, most of these sites, they don't really have too much authority when you donate to them, but they're extremely relevant in content. So these links are basically content links. You shouldn't get them from other industries. I mean, if the industry is somewhat close, then it's okay, I guess, but the best thing is if you have an animal store, get a link from an animal webpage. That's the best thing in this case. Yeah.
Okay, so the closer to the topic, the better.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Would the calculator technique work as well with a sort of a digital assistant? And she writes all questions to ask before you do this or that, or white papers.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, any technique that where people can take an embed code and your link is in there works just as fine as the calculator one. Okay, that's actually a very good good example that the user put there. I didn't think about that one yet. So it's interesting. It can be done. Yes, absolutely, and it probably would work well. Yes.
Great question from Victor. What techniques will you use to push the media pages that already contain link to your sites?
If you have media pages that already link to your site, what you get there is nice authority, and sometimes we do what is called tier 2 linking, which means that we link from different pages towards that media site to have it accumulate a little bit more power, so to say, a little bit more link juice, which then will be channeled over to your site through that media. So tier 2 would probably be one of the results. Also, one of the answers. Yeah, that's probably the most common one.
And then the next one. Would you recommend auto-generated links, such as creating a block B with an expired domain name that will have multiple links towards block A?
No, not anymore. Not anymore. I mean, there's certain techniques that have been burned. I am not a fan anymore of. I mean, we used to do a lot of expired domain ranking and PBNs and stuff. I think that's one of the things that Google is actually pretty good lately in finding. So don't get me wrong, it still works if you do it well. I mean, I know some people that do this extremely well, but you have to be really careful in this. I am not a fan of this anymore. I wouldn't do it automated. I prefer to do it manual and make sure it's a good link. I mean, even within those black hat things, for me, there's some limits. And one of them is automation. I don't like it anymore. I used to do it. I don't like it anymore. Okay.
Yeah, and I think we've all seen companies go bust because of this, actually being taken out by Google out of any rankings and therefore had to close the shop. So
yeah, I mean, there's one thing that's true is Google, they crack down on techniques that are getting used massively. As soon as some technique is used by the community as a whole and everybody talks about it, that's when Google steps in and cracks this. But most of these techniques, I mean, unless a manual reviewer comes to your site, that's true. I mean, then it can be, if it's very obvious, then it can be a temporary problem. But usually, if you don't raise any red flags, so that a manual reviewer comes over, it shouldn't be any problem at all.
Geez, more and more questions. What about typo backlinks?
Typo backlinks. With typo backlinks, I mean, if they write them, there's two options, as I can understand this question. Maybe they misspell the anchor text. If it points to you, that wouldn't be a problem. It's just a natural anchor text. Or another option that exists is that somebody registers, for example, a domain that has a typo in it, and it redirects it to yours and stuff like that. I'm no fan of redirects right now. Again, they do work if you do it well. I know people that do it really well. I'm no fan of it, and I'm not sure if I answered the person's question with that. But
Fabian, please explain. If not, let's see. So we got time for one more, even though I have more questions here. So maybe, Alex, you can check out the chat later and get back to people on separate questions. So last question, and I think you just answered it, but let's clarify again. How about redirecting an expired domain to your main site?
Yeah, this has two things that I don't like in it. It's the redirect and it's expired. So redirects are fine if it's a legit site, and you just decided to change your domain and use a new one, and that's no problem at all. But if it's an expired one and you redirect it, there used to be techniques where you do this double redirect. You do a 301 and then a 301 and then you go to your site. So in the way it kind of washed out any possible penalty. That also doesn't work anymore. So there's techniques that I prefer to stay away from.
Okay, and one bonus question. Do you have a specific advice on link building for topic clusters, and how would you manage link juice in that case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's different ways of doing it. For example, let me just explain it like on page wise. I did mention it briefly in the talk, but if we go into, for example, internal linking, you do like topic clusters internally, and you find which are the most relevant pages internally. You can do some really, really extremely nice link building. People always tend to go outside for links. They want to get more and more links. But sometimes when you're already a big brand and you already have enough links, sometimes it's also interesting to just go inside, and look at how you can improve the internal linking and with finding, creating some topic cluster pages or whatever inside, or finding them, you can do some really, really nice linking by just pointing the link juice towards the right direction. Okay. So yeah, that's also be possible. Okay. Yeah.
Good. Great.
So any more questions that you guys have, if you want, please, send me a direct message on my Twitter. It's Vivir de la Red. Just look for Alex Navarro. You might find me. I'm the one with the Photoshop's image on. So yeah, that's all.
Great, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And those of you who've been in earlier sessions, here we go again. This is going to be the prize draw, and those who haven't seen that yet. So anyone who will join the poll that we're going to start in a minute can win a €100 Amazon voucher plus a content consulting and a 150 Textbroker voucher from Textbroker. Second prize is €50 Amazon plus 150 euros Textbroker voucher, and the third one will still get 150 euros on Textbroker, for which, Alex, believe me, you can get a lot of good content, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What you need to do, please take your mobile phones and scan this QR code here, or go to that Slido website, which I've listed below. And then you'll see the first question, which is, did the presentation deliver valuable information? And we'll start answering that now.
I'm crossing fingers.
So votes are coming in. I can see that, and that's great. All right, let's count down from 10 seconds left. So we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here comes the next question, which is, what was your main takeaway? And that, I guess, gives us the even more valuable feedback, Alex, to show people what they've learned, and also gives us food for thought for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I must say, Alex is very rare in presentations, and I'm grateful for you doing this one. In the spirit of our partnership, Alex posted on Twitter yesterday that this will be the only presentation he gives this year, and I do very much appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds because that's a free form entry. So hopefully you have enough time to answer. What was your main takeaway? So my team is saying long answer still coming in. That means I should give you a little more time, which I will. Keep typing. That's great feedback for us. We appreciate every one of your comments. All right, let's leave it with 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the last thing you have to do is enter your email address, especially if you want to win the prize, because only those that submit email addresses are able to get to the draw. And those of you who have done several votes will have several chances to win. So please enter your email addresses. And whilst you do that, I am posting into the chat our next session, which will actually start at 1 o'clock, which leaves you 45 minutes for hopefully a delightful lunch.
Lunch in Spain is at 2:30. Okay, that's
well, this is a pan-European event, Alex.
Okay.
Right, so we'll continue at 1 p.m. and with a great presentation from iProspect, who will talk about how they try to localize global SEO strategies that they get from their clients into local markets. I think it's a great thing. And Alberto, if you have breakfast now, then I envy you for that. And we get greetings for a good lunch from Abu Dhabi. That's great. So have a nice lunch, everybody. I think the vote is closed now. And I hope to see you all again at 1 o'clock. And I also think that lots of the stuff that Alex has told us will food into good questions for John Muller later on when he's coming at 5 p.m. for a question.
Scare tactics, believe me.
For a question and answer session. Thanks, everybody. Great to see you all, and see you again at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Ciao.